Hello, welcome to the 18th lecture. When I look at our question vector, most of the time you will see that we are using questions. The reason that we use the questions as much as possible is actually helping the search engine to understand the specific question format and the possible answer format that we will be using. If your answer format is aligned according to the question format, it means that you are using actual question and answer pairs. And if the question that you are using is the question that the most probably search engine will be generating and the search engine will be ranking at the top as a candidate question, which means that actually search engine can directly learn these topics from you. You will be able to see some of this information directly in this book, but try to understand it like this. If you use the question format all the time, the search engine won't need to generate these questions by itself. You will be making your content more clear and also easier to process. Because instead of writing here, where is Germany? If I just write here Germany or location of Germany or coordinates of Germany or something else, the search engine will need to generate this question by itself. Then they will need to process your answer. Then from there, they will need to connect this answer back to the generated question. But the thing is that generated question will be just a possibility. And if you give the question directly, it will be easier for creating a better responsiveness and also creating answer and the question pairs. And when it comes to generating that specific question, you should understand first which internal link that you will be using first. And here we will be using actually countries in Europe or European countries, and we will be changing this anchor text because most of the time I don't use an anchor text more than 3 times. And here, since this will be the first internal link, I need to ask a question related to the location of the Germany. Then I ask the question of the continent, and directly I mention the continent name, which is Europe here too. The same thing also happens here as well. If you look at here, what is the what is the capital of Germany? Capital of Germany, it is actually a synonym or synonym phrase of Berlin. Same thing here is to continent that Germany is in, which is synonym for Europe. And most of the time, whatever entity that I use inside my internal link, I also mention it with a synonym phrase directly inside my headings as well. According to the internal links that I will be using, I will be generating different types of questions. And you can tell me that, why didn't I ask directly the continent? Why first I am asking for location, then I go for here. First of all, there are endless amount of ways to tell where Germany is. You can tell east of France or west of something, north of something, or you can tell west of X forest, north of something else. You can give coordinates, or you can actually give some other things like the kilometer squares and etc. But the thing is that when you ask this question here, like H2, and once you are able to give this answer, this specific section as an H3, you are actually decreasing the prominence of this link slightly, because I will need to pass more relevance and more page rank to this specific area. So my purpose here is actually using an H3. Another thing is that if you look at these areas, the words like map, the flag, or some other things like sties, or some other queries, and there are a really good amount of queries by the way here. And if you're able to see most of these queries, sometimes you will see things like the coordinates. So when you ask the question of where is Germany, you can give the continent name, neighborhood countries, or coordinates, or different things. That's why here we ask the question of coordinates one more time, but this time it is under the population. So basically, in the contextual vector, we actually prioritize certain types of attributes for certain types of internal links. And you can tell me that why the coordinates are under population. The reason for that is we will be actually distributing the population of the Germany, or the most of the population, to the different types of coordinates that we have, so that actually we can expand the population context a little bit further. So first thing that here you should be understanding is that there is something that we call contextual flow. From first heading to the last heading, we always keep the contextual vector as one piece and as a trait. Most of the time, when SEOs create their headings, it goes like this. A topic goes there, then another topic here, then another topic here. Those usually connections are not that much clear. But in your situation, it actually flows as a whole, as a straight line. Another thing is that every contextual domain that we have chosen, there is a proper flow for that. Usually, every specific section has nearly two headings. For instance, time zone and time difference. Location of Germany, continent of Germany, population and population distribution at the same time, official language and the languages that are spoken in Germany, or let's say Germany phone, telephone, or the country code and German plate, or at the same time. And for others too, let's say capital city and the other cities. And after that, we ask actually where to visit, which top focuses on the visit context one more time. So then we ask, like, what is the area of Germany? And in this case, actually, this is more descriptive question to complete these specific parts and adding more sections there as well, because you can give, let's say, it's kilometer squares, like smallest country, biggest country, or different types of contexts actually can be given in this area. In the next lecture, we will be talking about a little bit more for the question generation. Then we will move on to these specific parts. See you in the next lecture.